I thought it would be a good idea to come out here today and do some pruning. The light on though. Alright, I think we have audio. Christine's been ducking around for 20 minutes. Today is a day full of struggles, I tell you, my friends. Whew. We're just hanging out today, cleaning up some plants. I really like this plant. It's a bulb plant, which is usually not something I go for because I like it to be green year round. I don't know, what do you guys do with your bulb plants when they go back to dormant? Just put them aside? I don't know, it's so oogie. So oogie. Anyway, this is toad lily. And this year actually grew a lot. So that's nice. And I also got some seeds from it. So I'm gonna try to grow it next year. Probably not gonna be successful. I've had horrible luck growing flowers from seed. It's not worth it. No, it's not true. I'm sure people who master growing things with seed from seed would disagree with me. I've grown a lot of vegetables with seed, and they seem a lot easier. I don't know how that could be, but just not the right conditions. People make it seem like growing things from seed so easily. You know those commercials? It's like 1, 2, 3. I guess they were like sprouting beans or something. Alright, it's looking pretty good. I don't really remember what I did with this last year. I think I just set it aside and tried not to let it completely dry out. So water it a little bit. It rained like crazy yesterday, so everything is sopping wet. So some of the cactus got frostbite. All of this is just gonna shrivel up. I watered it thinking that it would be fine. If I didn't water it, this would not happen. I really like this cactus. I saw it at Jess's house, fell in love. I was like, I have to have this. I love the brown dots. Cinnamon buddy. This is a Rita, very common, very pretty when it's sun stressed. I'm wondering if the other pieces will propagate. So that the root piece is gone, basically. Alright. That's just gonna shrivel up to nothing. Everything else seems fine. Can you guys even see the plant? You can't. Because it's. Oh no, you can. Sort of. Yeah. It's far. What's the name of this one? I thought it was really cute when I saw it at here, let me show you guys. When I saw it at Lowe's, it reminded me of something like Dr. Seuss, or something that came out of Dr. Seuss. It has like these dark kind of shadowing right where the white spots are. It makes it look really like, I don't know, strange. Yeah, so this is the cinnamon bunny, and yeah, the base rotted. I have more. They're really easy to propagate and they grow really fast. Okay, I think that's it for this guy. I'm not gonna water the cactus for the most part until I see like some severe signs of drought. I'm saying is, I don't know if you know this, but the amount of water the succulents get actually changes the colors over time. Well, over winter basically, but yeah, over time. I don't know if it happens. I mean, obviously they get sun stressed when they get a lot of sun, or is it only a winter phenomenon? I guess is my question. Because if I don't water my succulents, which I don't in the winter, they turn these really beautiful colors that you normally don't see in the summertime. So, having said that, let's get some B-roll. Yeah. Of the plants now, so that we can compare them later. Okay. Let's start with this guy. This one here. Can you see? Yeah, so this one's really pretty. I think it's the Lola. Someone corrected me. I said it was the Lola and they said it was something else, and they were correct. I don't remember the name. I'll have to look it up. But these were some of my propagations from a while ago. They grow pretty slowly, but also because I wasn't watering them very much. As you can see, there's a lot of dead, dry leaves on the soil. So I was keeping them a little too dry. But that's okay. Yeah, so that's what they look like now. And it is December. By, I would say, January, February, you know, no watering. Except whatever rain they got. But normally, they don't really get wet from the rain because it doesn't really rain here. It's more like a constant mist. Like, last week, I think our average temperature, average rainfall for 7 days, total rainfall to be expected across 7 days was going to be 0.5 inches. That's not a lot of rain across 7 days, so yeah, that is the type of weather we live in. This is also why it is so lush and green here. So it is a, a curse and a gift. So right now, this planter is just a mix of different Sensios and some Echeveras. I have an aloe in here. What is this? Oh, this is donkey tail? Yes, some donkey tail. I honestly have no idea what those are, but some kind of succulents. I don't know where it came from. Very cute. And yeah, other millions. It's just a mixed bundle of stuff that I got sick of having them individually, and quite honestly, it's looking pretty good. What do you think? Oh Lord. Anyway, what I was trying to say was that right now it is pretty green. I don't know if you guys can see that, but as the winter progresses, it is going to turn, some of them will turn more blue, some of them will turn more red. It's interesting. So this is one of the reasons why I like keeping my succulents outside. Not because I like to abuse them, but I mean, in some ways it's like, I don't look at them, you know, I don't have to worry about them. Okay, let's show you guys some of these up here. This one I repotted. Well, and propagated, you know, a bunch. And because of how I keep it, meaning I keep it really dry, because it gets really dry out here. Let me sit down. Because it gets really dry out here, it loses a lot of the beans at the bottom. So if you want to keep this plant and have, like, you know, fuller strands, yeah, water it. Keep on top of watering. But I kind of like it like this. At first I didn't, because I was like, that's not how it's supposed to be. But now I'm like, oh, it's kind of cute. Like little berries. Yeah, so I think every year it's just going to be the same thing. Like if some of them get really crazy, which it was, you know, cut them back, stick them back in, and you'll get a fuller plant. So that's been fun to keep. Here's my Trader Joe find. I was very, very in love with it when I got it. I love the red. And yeah, it does change color. If it doesn't get enough sunlight, it won't be this red. It'll be more green. It also drops a lot of petals if it gets too dry. So that's why my heads are so small. Yeah, and it's really like, you know, you can almost turn it into a bonsai, like tree-like. So it's cool. And it's velvety. I really love fuzzy plants. So fuzzy succulents is definitely one of them. I'll show you this ruffle. I got this at Fred Meyer's, which is a supermarket out here. And it was in a 4-inch little plastic container, a nursery container. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, it grew a lot. It grew obviously multiple heads. It was only one head when I got it. It did get it got the first year, yeah, the first winter I kept it outside. I got root rot. Not root rot, sorry. It rotted in the middle. So one of the things that you really need to do if you want to keep your succulents outside is keep them dry. Because rotting is what's going to kill them, not the cold temperature. So as long as you don't water it, I feel like you're good in the winter. Try to remove some of the dead leaves. But you know, I was doing that to another succulent the other day, and I was thinking about maybe that's a good reason to leave the dead leaves on, because it helps keep the moisture off. Or maybe does it keep the moisture on? Maybe it's the fact that it keeps the moisture on. I think that's correct. Yeah, so remove the leaves to help keep the moisture away from the plant. I'm going to keep it as aerated and dry as possible. I really need to repot this guy, because not into a different pot, but just to loosen up the soil. It's been more than 2 years now, and I have not loosened the soil at all, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Compact. Yeah, so I really love the succulent, not only because of the ruffling leaves, and you see how the edges are a different color from the leaves. In a couple of months, I will share with you guys the colors that it will change. It'll become more blue. Right now it's more green. And it just has a really beautiful glow to it. So this is why a lot of people love echeveras. Because historically, honestly, I never really pruned this back. I kind of just let it be. You know, do its thing like it would in nature. I'm gonna leave it. Anyway, this is called the Sundrew. It is a carnivorous plant. And yeah, so the first time I encountered this plant was when I was in San Francisco looking at a jewelry store with my good friend Lucy, and they had a bunch of these on the window as, you know, just part of their display, and I thought they looked super cool because of it was sunny that day, just like today, and there were a lot of wet, sticky drew all over it, so it just made it look really magical. And so I have been mesmerized by it ever since. It doesn't grow very pretty, but it is cool. Very easy. It flowers, obviously, very easily. And the leaf fits on it. And Yeah, so loads of little babies. And apparently it tolerates pretty cold weather, so that's why it's out here. Just coming over here and pruning my, what is this thing called? Canna. Yeah. So, just throwing that away. Because it's going to die all the way back. Anyway, and today's nice, so might as well. I have a very hard time growing this plant. It doesn't really do well. I think it's, I don't water it. I don't keep the medium consistently moist enough for it, so it's not super thrilled with me. Did I already dump the water out of this? Yeah, I did. Okay. What else can I show you guys while I'm here? This is a ping. It's not doing very well because it got super wet. Maybe I'm gonna move it back. But it's had a rough time with me because in the summer I wasn't watering enough, and in the winter now it's getting too much water. But so far I would say it's pretty easy to grow. It's not a fast grower, and they color up really nicely. These two little baby ones grew a lot. They were actually, a lot smaller than this. So they're a little purple, and this is a beginner ping that Steven gave me. Yeah, it's been cool watching them grow. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. All right, let's talk about the succulent. Oh, all right, let's shake it a little bit to get the water off. This is getting really like top heavy, so I feel like eventually it's just gonna go down. Gravity is going to take it. All right, it is a monster. It has become a monster anyway. It's unfortunate it's kind of backlit. I'm gonna be curious how this video turns out. Anyway, yeah, so this is a succulent that I purchased the same day at the same store, Fred Meyer's, as the other one. I'm trying to like jiggle the water out of it. And yeah, it was one head, it's this head with a flower on it. And then all these other heads really came on this year. No, that's not true. Okay, so these smaller heads came out this year, the ones that are closer to the middle one. And these outer ones that are bigger came out the year before. So it's been really lovely watching it grow. It's very low maintenance. I obviously keep it out here. I haven't had much problems with this plant, I want to say. This succulent probably suffers from all the same things as all my other ones, which is the fact that in the summertime I don't water them enough, and this probably needs to be repotted. But I have been really scared to touch it because I feel like it's just, it's so heavy, a piece of it is just going to break. And that'd be sad. The flowers are not as pretty as the ruffle one that I showed you earlier. Yeah, and that is a Echeveria. This has obviously little blooms, but pretty insignificant, as you can see. But, oh yeah, and on the same topic as color, this will become really gorgeous. It's already kind of putting on the pink tips. So I expect to see more pink tips as the winter progresses, and it just makes it really cute. Because otherwise it's just, very green, one color in the wintertime. I mean, in the summer. But, that's when it's doing its thing. Growing! I want to show you this Oxleys. I think it's called the Sunset or something. I don't know what it's called. I gotta look back. I am like so out of touch with all these plant names because I haven't been thinking about them as much. But it's definitely Oxleys. I know that. Let's turn around. Unfortunately, the mic is on the other side, but this is really just to give you guys a look. I really love this plant. It really just been really, really easy to care for. It has grown a lot. I bought it, you know, as just a little starter from the nursery. And it is not even at its fullest right now, but, you know, it's like, what? Christmas, basically. It's end of December, and it still has some color. And it doesn't really die back for me, because I don't think it gets cold enough here. Let's see, make sure that's on. Yeah, so it doesn't really die back, so that's nice. And it puts on these little yellow flowers, and I love the fact that, you know, it has this variegation, the pink with the purple. Yeah. And out of all of my oxleys, I would say this is the easiest. This has been the only one that's been thriving for me. All right, let's look at this guy. This is the first time I put him out here. And it looks like some of the leaves have been a little burnt from the frost. How wet's the soil? Okay. Maybe it was too cold with the wet. But, yeah, it's still doing okay. I'm gonna have to monitor the weather a little bit closer, because this guy might have to come in. If the temperature stays too cold, it doesn't look like it's gonna handle it. Well, the rest of it is kind of stuck to that pot, so I can turn myself around. But overall, I think I killed my lemon tree. So let me show you guys. So this is my lemon tree, which I think I killed. I honestly did not take very good care of it this summer. I tried to water it when I could. This guy is actually looking healthier now than it did in the summer, really. Yeah, very slow grower. You want a really slow plant to grow, this one is it. I mean, at least that's true for me. Mediterranean fan palm. Yeah, see, this is the purple oxleys. I think it got rained on like crazy yesterday. That's why it's like, I'm not happy with you. I forgot what these are, but it will flower in a couple months, or a couple of weeks. Yeah, usually it flowers in the, oh, there it is, they're coming. They flower in the winter time. That's why you will see them in the supermarket now. Those are also bulb plants, but in the northwest here, zone 8B, they actually don't really die back because it's not cold or hot enough. So most of the time, I want to say I've seen this plant in my garden all year round. I mean, not flowering constantly, but they do flower for quite a long time. I'll say like into the spring. And I have another Sansevieria, which it feels fine. I got sunburned. Here's my another succulent planter that I don't know. I think I'm going to repot them and put them in these that I bought from the Daiso. So I grabbed 3 of those. Yes, so these 2 shelves are gonna go, and there are 2 planters back there that are really big. They are also gonna go somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. But the idea is if there is a electrical outlet in that closet, which Dan claims that there is, or he remembers there is, I will actually think I'm going to be putting a pond right in this spot. So I already looked at it. It's just I'm going to get a ginormous Tupperware or storage container from Home Depot. It's a, let me think, 55-gallon tub. I'm going to experiment and see how it holds up. Because if anything, I was thinking that if, say I fill it up and it doesn't seem like a good idea, like the plastic's too weak, I'm going to go back and get another one. So I think doubling it up will help. They're not super expensive. But anyway, that's the plan. And also, I'm gonna try to like build a trellis. So the tank's gonna be down there, and then I'm gonna have a automated water system. Because growing stuff outside, I feel like that's got to be the answer. Because it dries up every day, especially when it's sunny. And so I just really cannot keep up with it. And so I'm hoping to grow the plants up this window over here. And yeah, maybe build like a trellis with some PVC pipes. Paint them black, hoping nobody will see them. But yeah, and there's this tub, this wooden barrel, whiskey barrel actually. I think it's 50 gallons. Is it 50? I'm not sure. I forget. But my point I'm trying to make is that I could actually turn that into a fish tank if I wanted to. But it's all to be, I have to investigate and also obviously clean up this mess and figure out where all these plants are going to go. Although there's not actually that many plants on the shelving anyway. Because a lot of them, I moved inside. Here, let me show you. Right up there. Oh, and where the legs are, that's where the rest of the other cactus are. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out with me so I don't feel alone doing my balcony winter cleanup. Yeah, tell me what you guys are up to. How are you going to survive the winter? How are your plants going to survive this winter? And they've been doing all right. You give some, you take some. That's life. All right. I'm sorry this was boring, but if you enjoyed it, let me know. I don't usually do casual vlogs like this because I live in a really noisy place. All right. I'll see you guys. Take care.